So my name is Omar Abasad. It's 2:50 p.m., March 15, 2020. And I'm going to demonstrate the effects of the signals on my body. If you notice, my face is swollen. My jaw here is hurting. This is swollen. The jawline is swollen. This is swollen. See that? That's swelling. And the signals inside of the air is being pulsed, and it's popping. The air is popping. So I'm going to demonstrate using two things: temperature and blood pressure readings. Even my lips are swollen because my lips are pulsed as well. All this here is swollen. So using signals detector, using blood pressure and heart rate monitor, and temperature. So I'm going to use two detectors like I did before. I'm actually going to get two different types of detectors. I'm actually going to make that investment. I have one really good one. I'm going to get two others of two different makes, models, some recognized ones. Maybe I'll get a recommendation from somebody who knows more about the technology. And I'm going to put one in each room. And if I get the same readings, then obviously the credibility of my numbers go up. So I'm going to start with my blood pressure reading. I just took it, and it's 113/82. Just before it was 115/82. And at 2:46, it was 133/109. Oh, well, I think that number actually might be an error because I sneezed while I took that blood pressure reading. So I'll show you there. That 133/109, that's the effects of a sneeze. Because when you sneeze, you put pressure. You exert pressure on your body. And that's the difference it makes on your veins. It's not interesting. Very interesting, the things that you find out. So before that, the number was 5:24 a.m. The reading was 110/78, which was normal. The heart rate was a little bit on the lower side at 69. That was early in the morning, so that's normal for me. So I'm going to show you the air. See how bright, and it's on and off. And I have a headache. That's also on and off. That's the temple. The other side. So the temperature around my face, 36.4. 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4. The ear, 36.4, 36.3. Do that one more time. 36.3, 36.3, 36.3, 36.3, 36.3. So I'm going to take the blood pressure readings. And here are the readings, the RF reading around me right now. That the 37, the 36, the 36 figure that you just saw pulse through there. Here it's 15. Those are shocks on my thighs and between my legs. Now you notice how much older I look. When I'm outside, I don't look like this because the frequencies are different outside. So 113 over 82, that was the last reading at 249, and at 256, 115 over 81. And the heart rate jumped from 72 to 75. So the pulsing of the signals increases and decreases. And that increase and decrease reflects in the heart rate and the blood pressure. Not a huge increase in that reading, but an increase nonetheless. So let's do the temperature. $36.3, $36.3, $36.3, $36.3, $36.3, 36.8, and that's the sinuses. And I just got a huge pulse of the sinus. 36.8. And this is what I mean by the comment, the pain that comes and goes. And this is exactly why my skin is burning as well. 36.1. And the pain is also gone. 36.1. 36.7 on the other side of the nose. 36.6, which is why it's swollen. So these are the areas on my face that's being pulsed on an on and off basis. 36.5. So the face is burned, is being burned. 36.4. 36.3. 36.3. 36.3. Let's do the sinuses one more time. 36.4. 36.4. So the sinuses, the pain has eased up. 36.3. So I'm going to take my blood pressure reading. on different power levels and in different areas. So different areas are being pulsed at different power levels simultaneously or serially. Depends on the computer, and it depends on how many people are logged in. Depends on what the program, the algorithm is. And it's the same thing for my body. My arms are constantly pulsed. So 114 over 82, heart rate 75. So the last one was 115 over 81. And then this one is 114 over 82. So small change, which is a reflection of a small change in the temperature of the sinus. So the lower number increased. So there is a change. So the pain just lasted for a few seconds, and the intense pain lasted for a few seconds, and then it subsided. But when that's done for a long time, it gets inflamed, and the pain becomes sustained. So you're in pain for a day or two until the inflammation disappears. But the intense pain is being caused by the sudden increase. And I'll show you here. See that RF reading? And the RF reading is this number here. That's what causes the sudden increase in pain. The EF reading gives you a more sustained pain that builds up. But you see that RF reading? My head is hurting. My ears are hurting. My sinuses are hurting. My entire nose is hurting. And you just saw the temperature went up to see the high RF reading there? So again, the air. So the idea is to disfigure you. And sometimes the disfigurement is permanent. If you burn your skin and turn up the microwave very, very high, you get a permanent burn mark. When it's turned up on a lower power or it's pulsed on and off very quickly, you get a sunburn, and it doesn't penetrate the skin very deeply, which can be taken off with a peel. But it takes a while, just like a sunburn does. It takes weeks. But if the burn goes deeper into the skin, then it becomes a permanent scar. So this is what makes you look old, and it makes you look like you have wrinkles. Your skin is dried out, so you get wrinkles. The radiation, constant radiation changes the very nature of the skin. So it ages you. It takes away the moisture because the heat takes away the moisture. So your skin gets wrinkled, and it's like being in the sun all the time, and the sun ages you if you're in the sun all the time. So it's off on the right side. The nostrils. So imagine this being done to you as you sleep at night. And if other technologies are being used, like lasers, they can actually put patterns on your face. Like I said before, I noticed that I was developing a mustache. Notice the dark marks are gone. But the mustache, and I was getting marks on the side, and I have the faint scars and sideburns. And you can see it's fading, but it's still there. Sideburns. So these are distinct patterns being formed on your skin. And the comment outside the window is part of the experiment being carried out in the building to traffic is we're going to masculinize her. She's not a woman, she's a man. So, and the idea of turning people, women into men, making them bisexual, and men into women, making them bisexual. So there seemed to be an experiment with that agenda in mind, one of the many experiments being carried out. Because if a person is bisexual, the traffickers can sell to both men and women. It makes the person more valuable when it comes to getting clients. You generate more revenue. So when you customize remotely to the clients, then the hope is to make the person act out physically. So then you have a physical sex slave that's being passed around to men and women in a serial fashion as it's being done remotely. Now, from what I could see and experience in this building, a lot of people are taking part in this with consent. They're consenting to this because they get rewarded. My suspicion is this building, there are people in this building who are selling themselves and recruiting and procuring people, residents, to take part in it and forcing them to take part in it because this is the way the building is being operated. Anybody who comes into this building has to be a part of this agenda because there is a communistic approach. Now I heard in the building. So I heard that a past board of directors had me flagged and monitored, and the monitoring is actually trafficking. So it's coming top down. Now these people are members of course, the larger community in the area. So what is going on in this building is going on in the community. And these people are, I suspect, selling themselves. And to cover up what they're doing, they're forcing others to take part in it. So they can be criminalized so they wouldn't go to the cops and they would have a wider network to buy and sell from. So, other networks, the Muslim networks, the Indian networks, the Black networks, these are all people who are procuring and selling themselves as well. Because let's face it, if you're taking part in a criminal ring and in criminal activity, then you are part of it. You're a procurer, you're a trainer. And if you're a trainer, then you have to be privy to the technology and how it works. In order to do that, you have to go through the process yourself. You're gonna have to be trained as a trainer. And to be trained as a trainer, then you have to be sodomized, you have to be raped, you have to be sold, you have to be passed around. So let's do the temperature one more time. $36.3. And I just got pulse on the chest. 36.3. 36.3. 36.4. So the sinuses, 36.5. So the sinuses are being pulsed continuously on an on and off basis. 36.5. That's because when the sinus is swollen, 36.6, then your face becomes disfigured and it's painful. And when it gets inflamed, then it lasts for a few days. So there's long-lasting effects that keeps you in pain, 36.5. So the face and the head are being affected constantly. 36.5. 36.5. So do I have a temperature? Do I have a cold? You know, if I presented with this, with the symptoms of a flu, then people would be saying, oh my gosh, it's a coronavirus, but there is no virus. The temperature is changing all the time. And if when my sinus is inflamed, then of course I'll be having a runny nose. 36.3. 36.3. 36.4. Sinuses. 36.4. Instant increase and decrease. So the nose is being pulsed, and the nose is painful. I have a headache. My face is like my entire face is hurting. Right around the jaw area, the temple, the eyes are burning, the sinuses are hurting, the jaws are hurting, and it's swollen. See this? That's swelling. That's not fat, that's swelling. And I have the same effect on my thighs because my thighs are pulsed all night. Because the idea is if your the genital area and your thighs are pulsed and you heat up, and the fastest way to heat up your body is through your genitals, because the heat penetrates, goes inside of your body, and you immediately heat up. Your temperature just goes up. You throw your covers off. You open your legs, which is instinct to cool down the body. Your arms are flayed up, like open apart, thrown apart. Your legs are open to cool down, and you do this instinctively while you're asleep. So this is the idea. If your legs are open, then it's easier to remotely rape and use these technologies to rape you. So when your body is heated up, it's just one of the ways to get you to open your legs. It's part of the training. It doesn't only cause pain, it heats you up. So 112 over 80. So the pressure went down. And the up and down reflects the up and down fluctuation of the signals. That pain that resulted from the 36.8 reading was instant. It went away in a few seconds. And the blood pressure reading would have gone up. I wouldn't have captured it. It would have been too fast. And by the time I captured it, it would have dropped. But you could still see the slight increase and decrease in the readings. It also grays out your hair, by the way. Of course, then you get bald as well. One way for people, and for 5G, since 5G is being rolled out, these things are going to affect you. We are going to have a lot of effects. So 113 to 116, and that's exactly what I mean. So I started at 246, 248, sorry. So 115 over 82, heart rate 80, 113 over 82, heart rate 72, all in a sitting position. And I've been sitting here for the last couple hours working on the computer. 115 over 81, heart rate 75, 114 over 82, heart rate 75, 112 over 80, heart rate 76, 116 over 80, heart rate 70. And I just got a pulse in the head. There it is. That's the huge pulse right there. And I'm in pain. And this goes on all night. So let's try the other detector. Notice the RF reading. And my other the detector is going off as well. The yellow detector. Notice the EF and the RF. So there you got the breakdown. So headaches, fever. Oh, there you have a huge number. Didn't last very long. Right down to 0. So 1,000, 15,000, 1,500 plus to 0 in milliseconds. So headache, ruddy nose, earache, swollen glands, fever, achy body. Gee, my goodness me! It must be the cold. Oh my gosh! Let me go run to the doctor, and because I'm in fear now of having coronavirus. But you be the judge. Do I have a coronavirus? Do I have a cold? Do I have an allergy? And that really hurts right there. Notice all my gray hairs. And like I said before in one of my videos, I started going gray when I was 20 years old. So that would have been the time that the experiment would have started. It would also get you bald, by the way, if you don't shield. And I do shield, and I do take care of my hair. So there's your headache right there. See that huge number? Is that 2,800? I should actually record this. I think the memory is full. So let me delete the memory. So there is a feature there that says delete saved data. So I'm going to delete it. So I'm going to delete the data that's there. And I'm going to download these readings and store it. See that huge EF reading there? The RF reading is also going up. So the pain, the intensity of the pain is diminished. And my nostrils is hurting. Now hurting again. So there's the pain, 123/77. Heart rate 78. And the last one before that is 116/80. Heart rate 70. So the heart rate jumped from 70 to 78, and the blood pressure went up to 123 from 116. That's the pain. That's this pulse right here. Coronavirus? I don't think so. In my case. So let's do the temperature. .36.3. 36.4, the nostrils. 36.5, the nostrils, which is hurting. 36.5. 36.5. 36.6, hurting right now. 36.6. 36.5. 36.5. 36.5. 36.5. 36.4. You're not supposed to touch the detector, the thermometer. Every time it touches your skin, it goes off. 36.3. Immediate drop. 36.2. 36.3. Immediate drop. 36.3. The ear. 36.4. 36.3. 36.3. So you see the fluctuations. Take the blood pressure reading. Notice the EF reading, which is this number here. Is lower than this number. So the RF is high on the nose. So now the RF is much higher right here on the sinus. The other side, higher, even higher. Forehead. Notice the RF reading increased to 50 there. .51. Which is why my face is hurting. I'm swollen. Getting a cold, folks. There is a cold right here. PK is giving me a cold. PK and the Chinese traffickers, who PK is working for, and he says he's working with the government, is giving me a cold. The government that PK is working with is giving me a cold. And marks on my face. Disfiguring. Disabling. I would love to meet the people PK is working with in the government. Getting me blind as well, cataracts. This is how you get cataracts. And by the way, Boyon, who had a contract or subcontracted, just had it both his eyes operated on for cataracts. My mother had cataracts. My brother had cataracts forming. My sister-in-law has cataracts. So the blood pressure went down to 108/80. So the reading before that, 123/77. So the last one was 108/80. And the heart rate went from 78 to 68, all in a sitting position. The only thing that is changing are these signals. And I just got a huge pulse on my forehead. And there's the RF reading. So what's the temperature? (36.3), 36.3, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.3, 36.3, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.3, 36.3, 36.2, 36.1. So it's more on the right side, 36.5. Sorry, 36.2. So the right side is being 36.2, pulse more frequently. 36.2, 36.3, 36.4, 36.4. The nose is also being pulsed, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.3, 36.3, 36.4, 36.3, 36.4, 36.4, 36.3, 36.2, 36.2, 36.3, 36.3, 36.3, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4, 36.4. So all over the place. So all three factors, four factors are fluctuating: blood pressure, heart rate, signals, temperature. They're all in sync. And if you saw a picture of me when I just started living in this building, didn't have a blemish. I had I suffered with acne when I was young, and I had taken care of it. And I'm in pain. 125 over 83. Heart rate went down. So it's not only the pain that is causing this; it's the effects of the signals on my body as well. So it's affecting the blood vessels as well. So as I was saying, I suffered acne because of this technology. Started in 2021, and I took care of it, so my skin had cleared up before I came here to live. And this is 20 plus years ago. And if you saw the picture then, it was clear my face didn't have a blemish, as opposed to now when I'm constantly looking after it. There's constantly something that needs to be remedied, always. Pimples, if I don't get burn marks, I get pimples along the jawline. So the jaws, especially if you notice, there's a lot of heat created by these signals on the jaws, and it will cause eventually scars, burn marks. That's because, as the comments outside the window was made to the effect that we're going to masculinize it. It means that there's going to be a mark like a beard along my jawline. And this is the idea behind pulsing the jaws. And the mustache, well, that when I'm sounding stupid, I was trying to find the right word, mumbling. That's because my lips are being pulsed, and these marks, these burn marks, like that looks like a mustache, is proof of that. My mouth is being pulsed. It dries out. My mouth dries out. My lips dries out, and the tongue dries out. So it affects the way that you talk, makes you look retarded, and that's of course something that is meant to happen. So so from 108 over 80 to 125 over 83. So that was a huge pulse on the head. And my back, not only my head is being affected, other parts of my body is also being affected. And I don't have magnets on my body. No magnets. the heart. So this is probably another reason why my blood pressure and heart rate is being affected. The fluctuations are showing because my heart is being pulsed. So it's not only a pain effect in the blood pressure readings, it's also an effect on my heart and my blood vessels, my hand. So it's 46 minutes, 47 seconds, and I'm going to take my blood pressure reading one more time. And my head is really hurting, so I'm going to take a painkiller and aspirin. Like my face is really pulsing. So if I don't take anti-inflammatories, and I do a lot of anti-inflammatories, I do garlic, turmeric, use a lot of curry. I don't necessarily eat, I don't, like normally I wouldn't eat a whole lot of curry a lot during the week. But when I get pulsed like this, I try to incorporate curry in my diet more often. I do ginger. And I'll show you what I take. I take turmeric with curcumin. Really good anti-inflammatory, and it does help. I've been taking it for a week now, and I see a difference. Inflammation on my knees, ankles. My ankle is not swollen. I should say it's not as swollen as much. It still swells a little when I get pulsed during the night. It does swell. 122/85. So I just got a hit on my head. There it is right there. So you can see the pattern. So it's on and off, high and low. This is how you degrade somebody's ability and performance and make them sick. Gee, my goodness me, I'm getting a cold. And my ears, and I'm feeling nauseous suddenly. Sudden nausea. And that's because the ears are being pulsed. And the right ear more than the left right now. So let's take the blood pressure reading. And I'm really starting to feel sick. The idea is stop tweeting and stop doing this to make me get up really fast. I'm also starting to get cramps in my stomach, and I'm trying to I'm feeling what they're trying to do is to get me to get up. So I have this sudden urge to go to the bathroom because my stomach is just pulsed. So high RF reading, 163 just now. It just went up to 163. So I'm going to stop this here because I need to go to the bathroom suddenly. So we'll talk to you at a time.